Hello and welcome to your July Shadowscope with me, Sally Kent. I'm really looking forward to pulling some cards for you and delving into the insight and guidance of the tarot and also some archetypal decks. And I'm using my own personal deck for the Shadowscopes. I thought it would be interesting to bring in the deep, rich symbolism from the Egyptian Thoth Tarot, which has a deep and enchanting history, let's say. They always resonate with me for my own personal readings, and I thought it was about time that I share some of that deep, rich magic with you all. So without further ado, I hope you really enjoy your July Shadowscope. So let's take a look at the cards. Hello beautiful Leo, and welcome to your July Shadowscope. There's tremendous change in your cards for this month, but you probably already know that. We currently have Mars in Leo, Venus in Leo. So there is passion and energy towards moving in a new direction. So let's get into what's really crossing you at the moment. So we have the Hierophant crossing the Three of Cups here. So what should be a time of celebration, excitement, positive anticipation, is held back by the questioning that is coming forth from your soul. For some of you, you may be considering what your vocation is, what your true calling is. For some of you, you may be experiencing a heightening in your intuition and your intuitive guidance. Essentially, you have keys within you to give you the answers that you seek. But because this Hierophant is in the crossing energy, it does seem to me that you're finding this energy quite uncomfortable at the moment. Because it's almost like you haven't got the time to listen to to what the guidance is. There's this energy to move forward with things in a beneficial direction. Having Death as your crowning card does suggest that you have the endings of cycles on your mind. You're being guided here to allow yourself to surrender the things that are no longer serving you. This could be physical objects, this could be relationships, it could be thinking patterns as well, because it's in your crowning position. It does kind of represent your state of mind. So the guidance that's really kind of almost like shouting at me here is just like, give yourself a break. Like, some things are meant to be let go of so that new things can come in, and you've got so many positive things that are developing in your life that it would be a shame to limit the flow and the velocity and the amount of good luck and abundance and positive feeling that can come to you. There are some rewards to come in July for a career related circumstance. You're being acknowledged for your efforts. Some of you may be celebrated. You may receive a job promotion. You may get a new job entirely. You may receive an award. But there's definitely some acknowledgement in other people's eyes for your hard work, effort, And I must say, it's not just about the quantity of what you're doing, it's definitely the quality and your attention to detail. It does seem that you're no longer concerned with family affairs at the moment. It seems like it was important to you to contribute to your family's happiness, symbolised here by the Ten of Cups. But 3 cards jumped out for this position, so we got the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Cups for your passing position. So whatever's here is no longer important to you. It was at one stage. So it seems to me that, you know, with the Seven of Swords energy, you used to exert a lot of unnecessary energy by trying to find the right words that would be received well by family members or other people that you have in your life. But it's almost like you haven't got the time to mince your words anymore, or to be in any way deceitful. You're not interested in kind of fakery, you know, because the Seven of Swords is essentially, it's associated with kind of lying energy, being sneaky, not saying what we mean. So to have that energy in relation to kind of like family energy, and also kind of romantic energy, I must say, as well, with the Knight of Cups there. So it seems like truth is more important to you in romantic and family sense here. You have the Magician energy of what's coming up for you in July. So, you know, the hand pointing to the sky and to the earth is very symbolic of being connected to heaven and earth. So if you're the type of Leo to do a great ton of research, but then don't really spend much time practically practicing that new lesson, that new energy, that new behaviour, then this could be a call for you to do that, because that's when we really create magic in our life, is when we harness the energy of the heaven and the earth, and we also utilise all of our resources. So what's coming up for you is this realisation that you have more resources at your disposal than you originally thought, and that you can create a bridge between your subconscious and conscious mind, in order for you to actually bring out of you what it is that you want to create. So it does seem to me that with the Death card energy accompanied with the Three of Pentacles, that you're being encouraged to really permit to your sense of loss. So allow yourself to grieve anything that is passing, you know, any kind of phase of your life. I mean, it's interesting to note that we have like bachelor parties and bridal showers and baby showers and stag do's and hen do's to celebrate, and also like marriages and christenings and things like that. We have those celebratory events, don't we, which is very much the Three of Cups actually, to acknowledge the phase of life that we've kind of passed to. But there isn't an accompanying mourning that needs to happen for what's actually passed. So this is why sometimes baby blues happens, because a woman hasn't had chance to really acknowledge what's passing out of her life, that she's gone from being a maiden to a mother, and that she will no longer be a maiden anymore. And you know, and that when we go from being single to married, that, you know, sometimes it can be accompanied with kind of like depression and stuff after a marriage, is because it's like, oh, like I've actually, a part of me is gone now, you know. So, you know, what's passing is just as important as what's kind of coming. And in terms of like a nature perspective, you know, it's, the mud helps create the lotus, doesn't it? That's a, you know, a Buddhist monk's quote, no mud, no lotus, because we need that death energy to create new life. So whatever is passing, honour it, thank it for its help, and you know, welcome this new life in, because it's full of money opportunities, stability, both on an emotional and a physical level. So it really is time to embrace this new life that is making itself known to you, Leo. Where you find yourself at the moment is the Queen of Swords energy. So, you know, you're being very strategic. You're having to detach yourself from your emotions about a certain thing or many things, so that you can see the truth of a situation so that you can make beneficial decisions. Just try not to be too hard on yourself, because the Queen of Swords energy can sometimes be very analytical but quite self-critical, because there's this striving for perfection, and that's kind of the archetype in the myth story associated with the Queen of Swords, is that there's this striving to be perfect, to prove herself to her father, which is the masculine element of the swords and the mind. So this is about really you acknowledging that you have to become this Queen of Swords energy and be quite tough with others, because you're being that way with yourself in order to do what you know is necessary at the moment. So the message of the Queen of Swords really today for you is to remember that you will have to kind of come down from the sky at some point and kind of re-engage with others, or with something, and you will have to kind of re-engage with your emotions, because we move from the Queen of Swords to the King of Swords, and the King of Swords, he uses his emotions but he's still able to be impartial, you know. So it says to me that your mind is very clear, Leo, at the moment. You know, you're having to really utilise your mental faculties to plan and strategise. Other people in your life are seeing that you're going through a massive transformation at the moment on a physical, emotional, mental and spiritual level. But with the Wheel of Fortune, this is the universe making these changes happen as a result of our inner changes. So all the work you've been doing, all the changes you've been making, are now ushering in this new phase. So we've got the new phase with the Death card, the new phase with the Wheel of Fortune, and we also have it with the Magician and the Three of Pentacles here. So this is a real reassuring message, I hope, that this is a natural outgrowing of your situation. I was going to say, like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, and I think there's bigger rooms coming in terms of your social circle, your circle of influence, and for you to have that reciprocated energy, really, because there is this kind of sense of clinging because you've got the Four of Pentacles here as well as the Six of Cups, clinging on to possessions, clinging on to situations, clinging on to money, because we're fearful of not getting it again or not getting more of it, and for that to be in your hopes and fears position, it would be good for you to lean into your achievements and what's building in your life, because you've got so many messages here to kind of go with the flow and to let go of what's no longer serving you. I think that would really help your energy to remind yourself that more is always coming. The outcome is the Six of Wands, which is, you know, the card of victory, but we don't get to that place without trial and tribulation. You know, the card before it, the Five of Wands, is a very different picture and a very different energetic story, and so that suggests to me that you've been going through some difficulties recently, and I'm sorry to hear that, Leo, but it's strengthening your character in ways that you can't even see yet. You know, the things you're achieving on an inner level will soon reflect on an outer level, and these changes are beneficial for you. To have the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Wands does suggest that you are going to be victorious in terms of your career and money-related matters. This is a time to believe in yourself, believe in your skills and abilities, and to pat yourself on the bloody back for how well you've been doing to get to this point. So let's look at the Thoth card and the Archetype card. So I've pulled a Thoth card for each star sign to represent what the deepest message I can give you to help you the most. So what message is coming from the shadows to help you to see some truth. So we've got the Six of Swords, which is called Science, in the Thoth deck, and you can see it's very beautiful in the sense where there's a lot happening, isn't there? But there is some coherence, there's order, there's balance, but you can see that it hasn't always been the case. And this is the message of the Six of Swords. It's peace of mind as a result of going to the depths to find out why and to figure out how and what. Each sword could be a question that you have been tirelessly seeking to either have answered, or a situation that has been troubling your mind that you've been able to find a solution for. In other decks, the Six of Swords is portrayed with the swords all in a row, with a family leaving behind stressful waters and sailing towards earth, land and calmer waters. And the symbolism is that when we understand why we've been going through a stressful mental time, then we can steer our boat, i.e. steer our mind, in a direction that is beneficial for us, because we've learnt so much by asking those questions and seeking that guidance and that understanding. So I just want to say well done, Leo, because you've been soul searching, and we don't get the Six of Swords lightly, because we've been doing some work in order to get that inner peace. And if you're not feeling that at the moment, then July promises that that will happen. The more you can choose things that are beneficial for your mental health, the better you'll be able to see yourself and your situation. So really keep up with addressing your basic needs and getting them met, and keep up with the learning, because you're really putting the pieces together. So let's look at the box energy. So just like the tarot, the archetype cards can be read in a dark aspect and in a light aspect, and this is the reason for the Shadowscope, is to help not only express the light but to illuminate the darkness, so that we can find our way through difficult times and live a balanced and whole life. So the box is associated with the cage, the rules and the norm. So we all live to some degree within the confines of the box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated and expected. It holds us in a place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is quite sneaky, insidious and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well-paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small. There's a box around you now, made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going, break through. An exquisite life requires it. So moving outside of the box is exhilarating and expansive, but destabilising. Others will wonder what you're doing and why, and you will too, and this is part of the process of breaking the norm. So everything within the box is known, everything outside of the box is unknown. That is why it is more comfortable to stay within its walls, but choose freedom is the message of the box. So if you're experiencing this archetypal energy in light, then you might be experiencing feelings of structure, order, coherence, logic. But if you're experiencing this in its dark energy, then you might be feeling limitation, rigidity, judgment, fear. And if you're kind of living a balanced life at the moment, then you're likely to be feeling both the light and the dark energy. But the message is to really keep pushing through, because as it says, an exquisite life requires it. And this is very similar to the message of the Wheel of Fortune and Death and the Magician. It really is about kind of letting go of the previous box to move on to a larger room, you know, a larger life, one that can handle you and that you can enjoy and immerse yourself in. So Leo, that was your July Shadowscope. I really hope you enjoyed it and it rang true for you. If it resonated, I'd love to hear how it's helped you. Obviously this was just a general, so if you would like something more specific, do feel free to get in touch. But I'm wishing you so much love and a very happy, transformative, magical new chapter full of reward and appreciation and connectivity and peace of mind and expansion. I love you, Leo, and I will see you in August. Bye.